Good morning, class. Welcome to online classes of SSIC. Recently, we have studied about the definition of power sharing, necessity of power sharing, and various forms of power sharing. Apart from it, we have also studied about the case study of two countries on the basis of which we have to understand what is the importance of a power sharing for the peace and integrity within a country. All these things have been properly studied by us right now. And in today's lecture, we will discuss about the comparative study of these two countries that are Belgium and Sri Lanka. So let's continue with this topic. If you go through the comparative study about these two countries that are Sri Lanka and Belgium, so regarding power sharing, we will observe that Sri Lanka had enacted its constitution in 1956 and it did not change any clause of the constitution of Sri Lanka as per the need by time to time. So the first point which can be seen regarding Sri Lanka, it is the comparative case study of Belgium and Sri Lanka. What are the differences between Belgium and Sri Lanka regarding power sharing? No changes in the constitution by time to time as per the need. But in case of Belgium, for ensuring the proper power sharing, its constitution got amended for 4 times as per the need, as per the necessity, as per the requirement. The constitution got amended for 4 times since 1970 to 1993. This is the first basic difference between the power sharing of Sri Lanka and Belgium. Now we have to go to the next point, the next step, the next difference which can be seen in between two countries. Let's have a look. Execution of the concept of majoritarianism to ensure power sharing. In case of Sri Lanka, there was not the proper accommodation of power sharing because the Sri Lankan constitution provides the rights only to the Sinhala speaker. By means of adopting the concept of majoritarianism, the Sri Lankan government approved the Sinhala speakers to approve their dominancy over Tamil speakers. And in this way, they started to violate the rights of Tamil speakers and they approved their supremacy in Sri Lanka on account of which reason all the Tamil speakers became downtrodden and underprivileged. They did not get the proper right, they did not get the similar opportunities which were held by the Sinhala speaker. In case of Sri Lanka, there was not the concept of equality, and all of us are acquainted with this fact that the concept of unity, equality, liberty, and fraternity. These are the basic concepts which are extremely necessary for making any country complete democratic. If we exclude the concept of equality and fraternity, no country will remain into the existence in the form of a democratic country. But if we go through the scenario of Belgium, here the policy of reservation was accommodated despite of accommodating the concept of majoritarianism. The concept of equality had been accommodated to ensure proper power sharing. Is there any problem regarding the two written differences? If you are having, you can ask me in the comment section. No establishment of any government for resolving community disputes. Establishment of community government for resolving community disputes and problems. In case of Sri Lanka, we can observe that no community government got established for resolving the disputes in a community or within or between the communities. On account of this reason, the clashes between the Tamils and the Sinhala speakers got extended and gave a birth to the civil war condition. If the Sri Lankan government had tried to accommodate the proper power sharing by means of imposing, by means of establishing the community government, perhaps the condition of civil war would not occur. But in case of Belgium, we can observe that the existence of diverse ethnic groups can be seen, and in order to resolve the community related disputes, in order to resolve all the problems regarding various communities, whether it is Dutch, French, or German, the government of Belgium had established a separate government which was called as community government. And what was its fundamental duty? Its duty was to abolish all the problems within a community or between the communities. In order to create the fraternity among the masses, in order to create a peaceful environment, this community government got established. Now let's have a look for the next difference. Adoption of unitary government system. Adoption federal government. In case of Sri Lanka, we can observe that the constitution of Sri Lanka had adopted the unitary government system. All of us are acquainted with this fact that in case of unitary government system, the central government is more empowered. It is entitled for taking all the decisions regarding a country. There will not be the existence of state governments or local governments for conserving regional diversity, for taking any kind of decisions. And in case of unitary government system, the supreme government will be the central government, and its other subsidiary government will not occur. Only the branches of central government can be seen in a country for the proper administration, for the proper power sharing. But definitely, we can say that there will not be the existence of state and local governments if the country has acquired the system of unitary government system. Our country does not have unitary government system because we can observe the three-tier system of the government where we can observe central, state, and local government in case of India. It has been done to ensure the proper power sharing because the countries which are having the constitution in the federal form, there is a extreme scope for the conservation of regional diversity, for the national development, for the human development. These probability extend in a greater concept. But if we go through the scenario of Belgium, we can observe the adoption of federal government system. Federal government system means the existence of local and state governments along with the central government, where we can observe the functional autonomy and independence are given to the state governments for taking various decisions. We can observe the existence of a separate government in the city of Brussels in case of Belgium. We can observe the existence of community government in case of Belgium. These things are representing Belgium as a federal country and the constitution of Belgium as a federal constitution. I have told you about the examples of the countries which are having the unitary government system. If you would like to answer, your answer must be Sri Lanka and Britain. These are the examples of the countries which are having unitary government system. And one important thing I also like to elaborate that most of the countries of this world have adopted the system of federal government system. India, Bangladesh, America, and many other countries have adopted the system of federal government. The next difference, in case of Sri Lanka, due to the existence of unitary government system, there was the existence of only the central government across the country. There was not the existence of any separate government in any province or any city of Sri Lanka. But if we go through the scenario of Belgium, we can find the existence of a separate government in the city of Brussels in order to ensure the proper power sharing, in order to check the social classes among various communities which were existing there. A separate government got established in order to lead a proper administration, in order to govern this city in a judicious manner. Definitely, Yogesh, there is the existence of unitary element in the Constitution of India on account of this reason. I have told you that the Constitution of India is neither completely federal nor completely unitary. Basically, the constitution maker of India had adopted the constitution of India in the form of federal form, in the federal form. But it was not beneficial for the integrity of our country. Therefore, some unitary elements have been adopted in the Indian constitution. By virtue of it, we can observe the central government of India more powerful rather than the other state governments. In case of Sri Lanka, due to improper power sharing, due to adopting the principle of majoritarianism, when the social exclusion of Tamil speakers got held, this condition led to a civil war between Tamil and Sinhala speakers because all the Tamil speakers wanted the equal rights, wanted equality regarding opportunities and some other conditions. The condition of civil war could be seen in case of Sri Lanka. And what was the main cause behind it? The improper power sharing. But if you go through the scenario of Belgium, there was not the condition of civil war because there was the existence of proper power sharing. The constitution of Belgium had equally empowered all the existing citizens of this country, and on account of being equally empowered, any citizen of this country did not protest against the constitution. And ultimately, we can observe the present condition of both these countries. What is the present condition of Belgium and present condition of Sri Lanka? If we observe the conditions of these countries, we will find that Sri Lanka is still a developing country, and Belgium became a developed country. If I ask you, what is the cause for the existence of such a condition? Your answer would be, just answer me in the comment section, what is the cause that Sri Lanka is still a developing country, whereas Belgium became a developed country. Just mention the cause for this condition in your comment section. Very good. Improper power sharing. So I can expect all of you have understood what is the importance of power sharing for the development, for the integrity, for the peaceful environment of any country. If any government, if any country will not have the proper power sharing at this time, what would be the consequences that can be seen there? So it was the case study and comparative study of Belgium and Sri Lanka. Now I'm just going to elaborate the importance of power sharing. Now pay attention to me, and after elaborating the conclusion, this chapter will be finished. Abhinav Tiwari has asked me one question that India has adopted the proper power sharing, but still it is a developing country. Definitely, India has adopted the proper power sharing, but there is a proper there is the problem of communalism, uh, factionalism, regionalism. These things are extremely harmful for the country. In case of our country, we can observe that communal rights got occurred for several times. We cannot forget the condition of Babri Mosque demolition. It was the consequence of communalism. People oftenly fight for language, sect, caste, tradition. These are the demands for our country. And it is the basic hindrance for the development of our country. If we will exclude, we will abolish the condition of casteism, sectarianism, factionalism, and regionalism, only there will be the existence of nationalism. Definitely, our country will be enlisted in the name, in the list of the countries which are having the developed economy. So I hope all of you have understood what is the cause why India is still a developing country. What is the problem regarding it? The problem of casteism, the problem of communalism, the problem of factionalism. These are the hindrance for the development of our country. Let's have a conclusion of this chapter. After studying this chapter, we can analyze what is the importance of power sharing. Why do we need a power sharing in any country? It is necessary for the conservation of regional diversity. It is necessary for enhancing the concept of liberty, equality, and fraternity. These are the basic principles of democracy. Ultimately, we can conclude this fact that for making any country complete democratic, we need the proper power sharing. In the absence of power sharing, no country can remain in a democratic form. And it is necessary for empowering the downtrodden people and who are underprivileged. Power sharing is necessary for improving the status of women of any country. It is necessary for the development of any country. It is also required for abolishing all kinds of socio-economic disparities. The arena of power sharing cannot be confined. Not only it is concerned with the political system, it is concerned with the social system. In case of pressure group, in case of interest groups, it can also be seen. Power sharing also conserves the diversity of any country. So these are the clauses on account of which we can understand what is the importance of power sharing for the integrity, for the development of any country. After analyzing the condition of two countries, which are Belgium and Sri Lanka, we can properly understand if any country would not have the proper power sharing, what consequences can take place there. Priya Singh, definitely your answer is correct. It helps to check the conflicts, among various social groups. Oftenly, we can observe that most of the social group fight with one and another for language, for religion, for so many other things. By means of imposing the concept of proper power sharing, all these problems can be checked. So, this chapter is completely finished right now. Next time, we will study for the next chapter. You can ask me your questions, your queries, your dilemma if you are having. And please study once again this chapter at your homes for observing all the clauses of this chapter. Okay, this class is finished right now, and see you in the next class. Goodbye.